Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be doing some work on the train station. The order that I had placed quite a while ago at this point for the pieces for this still has not come in yet, but I want to fill in the staircase and the ramp on each side here because that has been bothering me for quite some time now, and so I want to fix that today. So without me talking too much, let's just jump right in. All right, so I'm going to start with the easier of the two things here, and we are going to start with the staircase because that is pretty simple. It's just straight up, and so I'm giving myself about 6 or 7 studs to work with here, and it is about 3 bricks high from the green plate all the way up to the top here. So that's not that much of a height difference, and it shouldn't be too bad. So let me see what I can come up with, and hopefully it looks good. All right, so this was the design that I came up with here, and it's pretty simple. It's just a couple stacks of 2x2 plates, and then I just put some 1x8 plates and then 1x8 tiles on top. And I think that looks pretty decent. And then if you just add that in here, that is pretty much it. It is going to get raised up by 1 plate though, because I just need to find 1 more tile for the bottom edge right there. But I think this is looking pretty good so far. And then the little platform out here would just be so that the doors can open and people can still walk in. So I think this is looking pretty good. So let me rip this out again, and then we can add in that last step on the bottom, and then we can fill the tiles in, and this side will be pretty much done. I don't know if I want to add I don't know if I want to fill this section in here. I probably should, but I don't really have a lot of small plates like that at the moment, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but that is something I'm considering. And also I need to figure out handrails as well. So let me get to work on this stuff, and I will show you what I come up with. All right, so here is the completed model here, and it's very basic and it's very gray, but I wanted to match the base of the train station and make it look like it was all connected together. And so basically it's just a bunch of stacks of 2x2 plates like I had said, and then at the top here I made it a 2x3 just because the little landing up top here is 3 plates thick, or wide I mean, and so that works out pretty decent. And then this can just press down into place there, and there you go. That is pretty much the staircase done. So now all I need to do is just go in and add the 1x2 tiles here, and also I need to figure out a handrail design. So I will be doing that right now. And so that's pretty much it for this area here. There's not much else I can do because, again, I don't have the doors, I don't have the windows, and I don't have many of the arches and other kinds of bricks needed to finish the first floor here. So I'm going to have to just leave it as is for now. And so for the meantime, we're going to come over here and work on the ramp for the other entrance. All right, so this is the design of ramp that I'm going with here. It's pretty basic. All it really is just some tiles on top of plate, and then I put a rail plate on the bottom just so it locks into the studs better. And all I'm really doing is just resting it on a brick, and that's pretty much it. So it's nothing too fancy, but it is efficient. It does work, and it lines up with the curved slopes at the bottom. And that is pretty much it. And then so we can go ahead and add in the top section where there will be another set of curved slopes and then the tiles going to the front door. I think this will be pretty good. I don't know how I feel about making it dark gray, but I have a lot more tiles and slopes and all these other pieces in dark gray as opposed to light gray. So I think we're going to have to roll with it for now, but eventually I will probably end up changing this to light gray. All right, so I went ahead and I put some masonry bricks underneath it just to kind of help make it look a little bit nicer as opposed to the random colors of bricks underneath. And I think it looks okay when you put it in the city where it's actually going to end up going. I think it looks all right, and I did also add a little bit of the start of a handrail to the side as well. I think it looks okay. It's not perfect, but I think it will get the job done, and then obviously I'll connect the tiles from the sidewalk to the bottom of the ramp. I think it could look really good. I just have to get all the other details in, and then we can take it from there. I don't know if I want to make the whole top section dark gray tile or if I want to make it light gray to match what's underneath the door. I haven't gotten that far yet, but we're just going to take it one step at a time. And I do have a lot more dark gray tile than I have light gray, so I might have to make it dark gray, unfortunately. But I don't think that's the end of the world. And also right here where this bucket of paint is, I do plan on adding a fence to the back here so people just don't fall off the back, and then the same with this side here. But I have not gotten a design that I liked yet, so I have to keep working on that. So hopefully we can at least start that in today's video. But I haven't come up with a design yet that I'm proud of enough to show on camera, so I'm gonna just tinker a little bit more and hopefully I can get something good. But if not, that will definitely be in a future episode here of the train station rebuild series. There's not many episodes of this left, to be honest with you, because it'll just be finishing this first floor, and then the roof and the details will be a separate video. So that's 2, and then that is probably pretty much it. So hopefully once those pieces come in, this will get finished pretty quickly, and I think it's going to look really, really good. And I do really like this. I like the light gray and how it's different than the sidewalk, but unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of these pieces in light gray. I don't have a lot of tiles, and I don't have the curved slopes in light gray either. So that is kind of unfortunate, but there's nothing I can really do about that. But this does look good, and I like it. I could also add jumpers in it so then people can be walking on it. I think that would look a lot more realistic as well. But this is pretty much it, to be honest with you. And so let me go ahead and add those tiles in and also get a handrail design, and then we can go from there. As for a design of handrail, I am not totally certain what I want to do. I do like using these bars here, but I don't have many of them in black, and so I have to kind of use them sparingly. And I did create this, which I didn't show in depth yet, but I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of this, but I think it has potential if I swap these 2 clips out for a 3 long bar. I think that could look pretty good. And then I would just need to figure out something to put on an angle here. I might use the illegal building technique that I used over here again, but I am not totally sure, because if you come around this way, it is kind of boring and it's kind of plain. And I was thinking maybe I could just continue the masonry bricks and then kind of just have them go down a little bit and then kind of taper off. I don't know how I feel about that though, so I am going to try a couple designs here and see what sticks. I did also add a couple figures in, and I think that looks pretty good. And so now that the figures are in, all we need is the handrail, and then obviously the path over to here. I'm gonna have to steal some more tiles from a different section of the city, but I think that's fine. And then as long as I get like the general outline of where this is gonna go, I think that'll be good, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so I do still need to go in and add the bricks on the side to make it look a little bit nicer, but I do think that this handrail design actually looks pretty good. I did go ahead and use the same technique that I used for the stairs here, which is just the bar illegally attached onto the claw here. But I didn't have enough claws to also add one at the bottom, so I used this L-shaped bar here, and that seemed to work pretty good. And that is pretty much it here. I did also run out of black studs with the hole in them, so I would need to order some more, but it's only 3, so it's not the end of the world. And then I also just need to grab some 1x3 tiles for those sections as well. But I think this looks pretty good, so let me go ahead and fill that in and then find the 2 1x3 tiles, and we can go from there. All right, so this is kind of what I'm thinking here. I do still need to grab a bunch more 1x2 tiles and some more of these angled ones as well. I already moved the hot dog stand over 4 studs, and I will probably need to do the same to the corner kiosk just to have enough room here, because at this rate, it is going to, at the very least, collide with this. So I want to give it enough space, and so I think that is probably my best bet, is to just kind of put it like that there. I could make this angle a little bit more steep, but I think this is fine as it is. And I do need to get some 1x2 tiles for that back end as well. But I think this looks good. I think it looks decent. I'm just extremely short on 2x2 tiles, so I need to probably place an order for a few hundred of them just so I can finish everything in the city, because I keep stealing from different places and it's getting really annoying. But as this is right now, I think it's a good start. And so let me go ahead and see if I can find any more pieces and we can add them into this, and then we can take it from there. All right, so this is kind of what I'm going for. I ended up ripping it all out and just starting over. And so I did also go in and add a couple of these triangle tiles as well, just because I don't have that many of this side of the wedge plate or wedge tile here. I have a lot in this side, but for whatever reason, I don't have a lot in that one. So that is not ideal for this situation here, but I think it works. And I do just need to go in and get a couple more 2x2 tiles and then a few more 1x2s. And that is pretty much it. I think having that different angle throughout here looks pretty good. And that is pretty much it for this section here. So let me go add those in, and then we can add the details, and then we can move on. I did have to take a couple triangle tiles from this section here in the front corner of the city, but this whole area is probably going to end up getting redone anyways once I put a building or two here. So don't worry about that. I will also be ordering pieces in the near future anyways, so that will get replaced in due time. All right, so now that this is basically done, I just need to go in and add the figures. I want to shift my attention over to this here because the train station platform, while it is done, there is no way for the people to get from this platform to this one. So whoever's on here just magically appeared here. And so I want to take the time to kind of fix that. I don't know what I want to do. My options are to make a staircase going up or to turn these ends into ramps and then they can walk along this path over here. I'm leaning towards that actually because I don't know if I can make that staircase look good. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it goes, and I guess we will take it from there. Because at the moment, I'm not really working with much. I don't have a whole lot of ideas for this, but I wanted to get this done because it's been bothering me for a little bit now, and so I want to take the time to get it right. Okay, so the stairs option going over the trains is out because as you can see, the stairs don't even come close to the height of the Orient Express here. So that is no longer an option for me. I don't want to have to use two of these staircase pieces because then it's going to get really tall and then it's going to be really obstructing the view, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to turn these ends of the platform into ramps, and then we can bring them down to the height of the path where the guy in the blue is. And that is going to be pretty much it, I think. I did also get a comment recently saying that I could make a bit of an elevator shaft or like a staircase that goes into the table and then kind of comes back. And that is also an option as well. I'm going to look into that and try and see if that's feasible. But if not, then the ramp is going to be my best option. All right, so I've been pretty busy here, and what I started with was removing the platforms from the base plates here just so I could work on them without hurting my back. And then I also took off the rounded edges I started with the smaller platform just because I figured that'd be easier to work with. If I can make it work with the small platform, then I can make it work with the big one. And so I started with the small one. I took the rounded edge off of the end, and I pretty much just went in and I came up with this design right here. Now, there's a couple of things to this. First, I wanted dark tan for the bottom here to match the design on the train station, but I don't have dark tan bricks available, so regular tan was the closest option. And then the roof up top here is actually what the train station is going to look like. So just a little bit of a sneak peek for you for the train station roof. I did start working on that, and I think this looks really, really good. And so definitely click subscribe and click that bell notification so you don't miss when that video drops once I finally finish the train station and put the roof on it. But so I figured I would go ahead and add a smaller version of that roof to this. And I don't know if I actually like it at this small of a scale. I think the bigger the pattern, the better it looks. And the pattern I got from ChrisBricks on Instagram. The account is full of amazing photography pictures, and it's a really good account. And so if you have an Instagram account, I highly recommend you follow ChrisBricks. Great stuff over there. But so I figured I saw this technique months ago, and I loved it so much. And so I bought pieces for it, and I thought it would look really good for the train station. And I was right. The actual roof of the train station looks great. But for this, I don't know if I like it that much. And so essentially what this would be was having the platform and then this at the end of it, and then people could walk down underneath and then walk back up to the other platform. But if I come around this way here, just so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here, if you put this here like that, I did also shorten it by 4 studs just to give this a little bit of extra room here. And so you put this down, it does fit and it does look decent. Actually, I don't think it looks that bad. But the problem, which I completely forgot about, was if you take the Orient Express and you bring that around, it hits the cab here. So that is not going to work. I could make this significantly taller, but I don't think that would look any good. So that is out. I did also try 8 studs wide for this, and it didn't look that good either. So I am at a loss here with this. So now, because of this, I have 2 options. My first option would be to turn this into a ramp like I had talked about earlier. Or what I could do is I could keep this design here and take this entire platform and put it on the outside here. I'm actually leaning towards that, surprisingly. That was not something I had considered in just a couple clips ago. But I could move the platform to the outside edge here, and I think that would look really good. And then you could just have green plates going down the middle here, kind of like what I did with that right there. And so that is kind of where I'm at with it right now. So I'm going to think about it for a minute. But what essentially how that would go is then I would put this on the outside here. I would put that on the outside, and then the platform would go here, and then people could go down and then walk underneath. And then another one would be probably about here. And then that's pretty much it. And then the platform would be here. Nothing would be in the middle anymore. I wouldn't have 3 platforms. That just seems excessive. So that might be the way to go. Actually, now, like, the more that I'm talking about it, the more I'm kind of talking myself into it, I guess. And so let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you would do in the comments below. I'd be pretty curious to hear about it, and also what you think of this design here. It's not perfect, but when you put the other details around it, I think that really helps bring it to life. And so obviously this isn't connected down to the base plate, but with something like that, I think that looks pretty good. And then you take a step back, I think that looks pretty good, all things considered. And so I am going to, like I said, think about this for a minute, and then I will let you guys know what I decide. All right, so this is what the train station would look like if I kept the platform where it is. And then this is what the train station would look like if I moved the platform to the outside and then I left the middle open. I think I'm going to actually move it to the outside. This was not what I was expecting to do today, but I think this is going to end up looking really good. And so I'm going to leave the rounded edges on it. I already added back the 4x4 plate that I had taken out earlier, and I need to go in and just finish up this side here. And then I already took out the yellow stripe from this side. And so pretty much that is just that there. And what I can do with this side now is actually widen it to the same width as this here, because I like the width of this, but this was just a little too narrow for my liking because it had to be this narrow so that I could have trains on either side of it. But now that the width is not a problem, I could extend this out a little bit more, and then I can put a bunch of foliage over here, and then the retaining wall would be here, and then the whole ocean and beach and pier and all that stuff would be over here. So I think this is a really, really good idea. I am going to, like I said, I'm not going to add the ramp today. I'm going to think about that and then save that for another video if I do end up deciding to do that. So I'm going to make a second one of those and then put that about here. And then that will pretty much be that, I think. So let me get started. Well, first let me put that back where it's supposed to be, and then I can go in and rip all the tiles out, move this over, and then we can take it from there. All right, so I went ahead and I added green plate all the way down the middle here, and I also moved the platform over to this side here, and I also removed the yellow stripe. So this is all looking really, really good. I unfortunately don't have enough pieces to extend it out and make it wider like this side is here, but that will happen eventually. I don't have enough 2x2 tiles for that, and I also don't have enough of the brick and the 1x plate underneath this whole section here. So that is why this is going to stay this width for now. And also this piece did not make the cut, the piece that was like that right here. So this is getting removed, but the rest of this looks really, really good. I am extremely happy with this. I could add a buffer to this end here, but I don't think it needs it. I think that's fine. And yeah, overall, this is looking really, really good. There is a lot of work to do, obviously, but that will happen in due time. So now that all of the base work is done here, let me go ahead and make another one of those. We could put that there so that they're kind of right across from each other, and we can see how everything looks. All right, so I went ahead and I made a second one of these. So now there's one on that platform and one on this one, and then so the figures can just walk down that, and then I guess in universe, I don't know what else you'd call it, but they'd walk down the stairs, go under the tracks, and then come back up here. And also in the future, if I do decide to keep this, I could add a thing under the retaining walls here to kind of make it a little more cohesive so that they could walk down and walk out down here. I think that could be pretty cool, but that's assuming I even keep these, because I could also turn these ends into ramps like real train stations have, and then the ramps would come down to the bottom and then people would walk across that platform there. I think that might be also a good way to go, but I'm going to sleep on it. So that's why I'm not filling in all of the details in here, like the gap between the platform and the structure here. And I'm also not adding the stairs in. So it does look a little strange when you look at it, you know, head on, but from a distance and you look at it from the side, I think it looks pretty good. And so I think that's actually where we're going to leave today's video off. We did a lot today. I really like this staircase. I think that looks really, really good. And the ramp here looks okay. I wish it was in light gray, but I don't have the pieces in light gray to do that. So that's going to have to stay dark gray for the time being, but I don't think it looks too bad. I do also want to make a fence design for the back here so figures don't fall off, but that will happen in a future train station update video. And then we also moved the platform to the outside and then built those two structures there. So I think this is a very good update. I'm very happy with this. For the next remaining videos on the train station rebuild, obviously the next video is going to be building up the first floor here, and then that will be done. And then the only other thing to do with the building itself will be the roof. But the roof will happen in probably its own video, I think, because I need to see if I even have enough pieces for it. So that is something that I'm gonna have to order pieces for. I'm also gonna have to order pieces to make this wider. And also if I do decide to make these ramps, I'm gonna have to order pieces as well. So there's a number of things to do, and then also obviously add foliage down the middle here, but I'm very happy with how this is looking. And so on that note, that is gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on the staircase, the ramp, and the structures out here, and also the platform position, and if I should turn these into ramps to make figures walk across like that, or if you like the staircase thing better, drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.